sidewalks breathe beneath the rain, while the skyline hums in low fidelity. A yellow cab fades into the distance, leaving ripples in the midnight haze. I keep my hands inside my pockets, warming them with forgotten days. The bookstore closed before I arrive, but one lamp still glows upstairs, like someone else is fighting the same ghost, counting hope instead of hours. Maybe we're all just passing signals, crossing frequencies in the dark. A quiet spark inside the static, waiting for another heart. City lights don't sleep for anyone, they just flicker through the blue. Every window hides a story, every rooftop holds a view. If I lose myself tonight, I'll follow the rhythm back to you. Yeah, the river mirrors broken colors, turning concrete into gold. The saxophone leaks from an alleyway, making winter feel less cold. I stopped chasing perfect moments, started living in between. Somewhere in the cracks of silence, I found a version of me unseen. The clouds drift without permission, the smoke rises without a map. Maybe freedom isn't knowing where you're going, but trusting you won't look back. City lights don't sleep for anyone, yet somehow they waited for me. The rain has washed the names away, but left the melody. When the morning paints the skyline silver, I'll leave these streets with quiet grace, because every lonely midnight was only teaching me how to find my place. The sun hangs low between the buildings, painting quiet stories on the walls. I walk past the corner where we laughed too loud, where cheap coffee tasted like forever. Now the chairs are stacked inside the cafe, but the memories still pull up a seat. A bicycle leans against a faded sign, its wheels covered in yesterday's dust. Funny how the smallest things survive when people don't. The sky doesn't ask who stayed or left, it just changes color every evening. Maybe that's the secret, to keep blowing while letting go. Meet me in the golden hour, where shadows lose their names. We'll trade our heavy silence for melodies carried by the rain. If tomorrow never calls us back, at least tonight we learn to shine. The rooftop breeze flips through old notebooks, scattering unfinished poems across the floor. I stop chasing perfect endings and start collecting honest moments instead. Somewhere a saxophone drifts through an open window, wrapping the skyline in velvet sound. Even the moon slows down to listen before climbing over the clouds. What if every goodbye was only the city changing songs? What if every empty street was making room for something new? The vinyl crackles once more, and suddenly the silence feels alive. Meet me in the golden hour, where broken lights still glow. We'll leave our doubt beside the pavement and watch the river carry them home. When the last train disappears into the distance, I won't be looking behind anymore, sunsets aren't ending, they're just the first page of another dawn. Half past blue, the city's barely awake. Vinyl dust floating where the silence breaks. I found an old hoodie hanging by the door, still carrying the scent of another fall. The mirror knew the version I used to be before the cracks learned how to crawl. Taxi lights drift like fireflies, painting stories across the rain. Some people leave through open doors, others never really go away. I kept chasing echoes through empty streets, thinking they'd lead me home. But every mile whispered the same truth: some roads are meant to walk alone. So let the midnight breathe my name, let the skyline blur the pain. Every heartbeat finds a rhythm when the clouds begin to change. I don't need tomorrow's promise, I just need tonight to stay long enough to hear the stars hum along with yesterday. The coffee shop closed hours ago, but the chairs still face the glass, like they're waiting for forgotten souls to finally let the memories pass. The saxophone cries from somewhere distant, wrapped in smoke and amber light. Even lonely songs discover harmony when they're played into the night. Maybe healing isn't fireworks, maybe it's quieter than that. Maybe it's the moment you stop looking back and realize you're still on the map. The moon doesn't rush the sunrise, it simply knows it will arise. So let the midnight breathe my name while the records slowly spin. Every scar becomes a skyline when you learn to let light in. The rain fades in the morning gold, the windows catch a softer hue, and somewhere between the fading notes I finally become someone new. Half past blue, and the world keeps playing anyway. The city's humming through cracked speakers, like it knows every secret I never said. Yeah. Rain taps rhythms on the rooftop edge, while headlights blur into watercolor streams. I walk past places that forgot my name, carrying pockets full of unfinished dreams. The air smells like old records and cigarettes. Every corner wears another disguise. I'm chasing reflections in puddles tonight, hoping one of them still has your eyes. Maybe time was never moving, maybe we were the ones drifting away. The silence keeps rewriting memories line by line until they fade. Meet me where the traffic turns to whispers, where the skyline melts into the blue. I'll leave my doubts beside the station if you leave your promises carved into stone. Just one more night beneath the neon glow. A trumpet sighs from an open window, floating through smoke and tangled wires. The moon hangs low above the rooftops, watching strangers trade invisible fires. I finally stopped asking the wind for answers. It only knows how to keep moving on. Sometimes healing sounds like static until you realize it's become your song. So let the vinyl spin a little slower, let every crack become part of the beat. The pieces we thought were broken, we're only learning how to breathe. Meet me where the traffic turns to whispers, where yesterday can't find our tracks. We'll watch the sunrise paint the buildings, gold across the weathered cracks. And when the last note disappears, the city won't remember our names, but the night will keep our rhythm alive, echoing through the pouring rain. The record spins slow while the city holds its breath, and the window catches pieces of a fading sunset. Coffee turned cold before the words came out. Old photographs whispered what silence was about. Streetlights painted stories across the floor, but every shadow looked like you once more. Maybe the night never really leaves, it just changes colors when nobody sees. Every heartbeat echoes through empty halls, waiting for something that never calls. If you ever walk this avenue again, look for the light behind the glass. It isn't hope, it isn't regret, just memories learning how to last. Smoke keeps dancing through the air, like it still believes we might collide. Neon reflections drift across the rain, washing old names from the train. I found tomorrow hiding in yesterday's coat, folded inside an unfinished note. Let the saxophone cry into the midnight haze, let the vinyl scratch through forgotten days. Even broken skies can find the dawn when they finally stop holding on. If you ever walk this avenue again, you won't find the person you once knew. The window's still open to the morning light, but now the silence sings something new. Smoke rises higher than the rooftops climb, turning lost moments into open skies. And somewhere beyond the fading skyline, we become echoes that never truly die. The world forgot to rush today, and somehow so did I. An old man feeds the pigeons by the fountain, counting smiles instead of coins. A little girl chases paper butterflies, laughing louder than the traffic noise. Someone opens a second floor window and a piano spills into the street. For a moment every stranger walks in perfect time with the beat. Maybe happiness never knocks, maybe it waits on the sidewalk, hoping we'll finally slow down enough to notice it's there. Take another breath, let the morning in, let the sunlight settle on your skin. Every ordinary second hides a miracle beneath the wind. Life was never asking us to run, only to keep our eyes open. The bakery fills the block with warmth, fresh bread rising with the dawn. An artist sketches faces at the corner, giving forgotten moments a home. The clouds drift without a destination, yet nobody calls them lost. They simply become whatever the sky needs them to be. The best stories aren't always loud, sometimes they're written in quiet cafes. Shared umbrellas, open books, and songs played for no one in particular. Take another breath, let the morning in, leave yesterday where it has been. The future grows from tiny places, from gentle hands and patient dreams. When evening paints the rooftops gold, you'll realize what you've become. Not someone chasing the perfect life, but someone finally living one. No destination, just four wheels and an empty tank of doubt. I threw my watch into the glove box, let the highway decide the time. Billboards faded into broken colors, like memories too tired to shine. The radio caught a station from nowhere, playing songs without a name. For the first time in forever, I wasn't trying to win the game. Some roads don't lead to places, they lead to people you haven't become yet. Sometimes getting lost is the only honest direction. Leave the map behind tonight, let the stars rewrite the route. Every wrong turn has a heartbeat, every silence tells the truth. If the world can't recognize me tomorrow, maybe that's exactly what I need. Yeah, a gas station under flickering lights, coffee burning through a paper cup. A trucker smiled and said, keep driving, like he already knew enough. The mountains slowly touched the skyline, the city disappeared in the mirror. The farther I got from yesterday, the louder my own voice became. I stopped asking the horizon for permission. The wind never waits to be understood. Freedom isn't finding the perfect road, it's learning to trust your own footsteps. Leave the map behind tonight, trade certainty for open skies. Let every mile erase the fear that used to live behind my eyes. When the sunrise finds this old engine humming, it won't know where I've been, but it will know one thing for sure: I finally chose the road instead of the rearview mirror.